Hello everybody and welcome back to Marwell Manor Farm. So the Anderson DLC is released tomorrow and I do want to do some more stuff with the DLC. As you can see, I've got one of the auto stackers just over here. This is the larger of the two square auto stackers, but there are four in total, two square and two round. So yeah, I've been doing this in the previous stream. You might have seen it, but yep, I've done this. But it's good. The extractor just over here, the hybrid, is a decent machine. I do enjoy using it. So I think you can just keep going forever, but we're probably not going to be able to. Especially as I do need this area now anyway to be able to build the new yard. So I need to bring the combine through here so I can create the space. The yard is going to be somewhere around here. This is my new house obviously, and it is good because it has a shed, although my previous house did have a shed too. When I did the mowing, somebody said, you've got a mower in the shed. I wouldn't really fancy doing all this area with that thing. I think it's electric anyway. It could be petrol, it looks electric. But anyway, yes, let's get on with something proper today. We're going to be coming back to the lawn care business soon. It is a decent and pretty good business. I think it's going to have quite a bit of potential, but not today, hopefully in the next couple of days. Also, regarding the bio baler, somebody called Joshua, big shout out to somebody called Joshua, emailed me a couple of days ago and said this is a video of how it's used in real life, and they sent me a real life video filmed in 2010 by Anderson, the manufacturer, and basically yeah, they've just got the bumper on the front, they're driving in line, so actually the tractor is driving through the poplars, not offset, and it works really well. So I think in future I'm just going to use a tractor which can have the bumper fitted, and then we're going to drive just straight through it instead of going off to the side. Seems like a good idea. Anyway, first things first, one load of bales is going to be brought back, so that's 16 more bales, and then I'm going to move back to the combining job just over here. I'm not going to harvest the entire field because it is very big, but it is going to be harvested in due course. I'm just going to basically create the layout of the yard and then we can start building it. So it'll mean putting the concrete down and stuff, and then putting some sheds in. I also do need to put a pasture in for the cows because the cows are going to be transferred, and also some greenhouses. The greenhouse mod has been released now by Giants, so I do look forward to doing that. Hopefully we can get them in today, that would be good. But we'll just have to see how we go, and I've just realised once again I've forgotten to remove the mod which basically does the job of the new patch. Anyway, you might notice that the game is not lagging today. This could be a breakthrough. I don't think it is the game necessarily, although the game does still lag on my laptop, which is strange, even though it is a gaming laptop. But yes, I think part of the issue before was fraps, and well, as Landy Kid pointed out actually in one of my streams, he was very amazed that I even used it still because it hasn't been updated since about 2013. It is very CPU intensive, but I did like it. It was a decent piece of software. It's just I think, well, I don't know what's happened to it exactly. I think they might have potentially gone out of business or just stopped updating that piece of software, but you can still buy it, so I really don't know. I wouldn't like to say. But yes, I'm now using PlayClaw, which actually does seem to be a really decent piece of software. It's not CPU intensive. I can actually see on the screen as well. You can't see, but I can. The load on the graphics card, the CPU and the RAM, and everything is pretty good. In fact, this is quite an interesting statistic. 20% load on the CPU, which is good. I can imagine with fraps it would be much higher. The graphics card, despite it being the new 2070, has still got 58%, obviously it's moving around a bit, but 58% load, and the RAM is 7.6 gigabytes. So I really do think that upgrading the graphics card has made a difference, and it really has done, because I've managed to keep everything on maximum settings without having too much lag. Although, yes, like I said, I think fraps did cause some of it, but it didn't cause all of it, because it definitely did improve when I changed. So anyway, yeah, let's get back to the field once this is done. 16 bales, and then I'm just going to stack it up. I'm not going to put them into the extractor at the moment. I might do it later, possibly. Depends how we're doing for time, but I have done quite a bit of that recently, especially if you watch the stream. It was something I did a lot, for over an hour in fact. I just hope the recording does work because it is my first attempt using PlayClaw. It cost me $27, which I think was pretty decent really, because you can use some free pieces of software which I'm sure are fine. For example, OBS is good, but with OBS for example you can't actually see when you're in game when you're recording, and I always stop and start my recordings instead of just setting it going and leaving it going, because I like to do the jump cuts and stuff, and if I just keep it going it's going to be a lot of editing and unnecessary file storage. You know, the file size is going to be huge because of the unnecessary recording. So with this you can just stop and start and it tells you how long you're recording for, your current frames per second, which is 60. This is impressive stuff. I was only getting 30 with fraps, and of course, yeah, as I've already said, the load on the CPU, GPU and RAM. So sorry if I've just bored you, but yeah, I just thought I'd let you know. Oh, and also, another good thing to say is I have now got the replacement Logitech G29, and it's really good. It does not have the issue. So I'm very pleased about it, and of course, I just want to thank everybody again who has donated in my previous live streams, because that did help fund the G29, which I'm really enjoying. Because well, I did prefer the G27, but of course that's ended production. But the G29, now it doesn't have the squeak, is well, I suppose, yeah, just as good. I'd say the only thing which isn't quite as good about the G29 is the side panel doesn't have as many configurable buttons. So for games like ETS2, it's probably not as good in that respect, but for Farming Simulator, it's great. Really is good. So as well, I did have a lot of money for doing the buying of the Anderson equipment. I put about £2 million in, £1 to £2 million, and obviously some people thought I had cheated, and I suppose, yeah, I did cheat, but it was just to really show off the equipment, and I do still have some of the pieces of equipment here. This isn't the Survival Series, so I'm not really being too strict with the money anyway. All I'm trying to do here is, you know, play FS19 with a lot of new stuff, with new mods and new DLCs. So it's the only way I can really do it. Otherwise, we're never going to have the money to buy stuff. Probably best if you don't unload with the picking up device on top of the bales. But there you go. Oh no 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 no! Oh well. Oh. Oh. Oh well, luckily it doesn't matter, because actually it makes it easier to put them into the extractor. There you go, that is exactly how not to use the auto stacker. Every day I'm failing. Right, well I'm going to leave that there for the time being. What I need to do now is obviously bring the combine round. I'm just wondering if there is a better place to put it, because it's going to get very congested here. Yeah, I might just bring it in the same way. There is probably a gate further down there, because after all, this entrance is one I made. So anyway, yeah, let's just go across here. We are going to be changing the combine as well for the Class Lexion very, very soon. As soon as I can afford it, which shouldn't be too long actually. No doubt the header is in here. Nope, the header must be in here. It's in one of them. Okay, it's in neither of them. I have just remembered that I put it down here. That's why I put stuff in a safe place, so I can lose them. And I'm going to require the ATV, the Can-Am, to reverse it out of there, because I have also put it in back to front. So that's all good. There is a bit of lag still, so that is definitely the game, because everything now is perfect. 55% load on the GPU, 25% on the CPU, and 7.5 gigabytes of RAM out of 16. So it just likes to do the odd freeze or whatever. Oh! Yes, it's a bit too light, this really, to be pushing back a header trailer, but anyway, it should do it. Eventually. Yes, that will do. It's out of there. I'm going to change it probably for something like the Gator, because the Gator is good, but the quad bike's good too. It's just it's not really heavy enough for what I tend to keep doing with it. After all, I did put the quad bike on the ATV trailer, which was extremely heavy, extremely ridiculous. So, yeah, let's go and harvest just a small section of the field. It really is just going to be a very small section, because it's just going to be where the new yard is going to be. Now, this new yard is going to be quite futuristic. It's going to have a wooden fence and some glass greenhouses. Yes, things which were invented many years ago. So the next thing is the tractor I parked in the way. I should be able to get past it, but really there isn't anywhere else to really keep it, because I need to just build this yard. Then I can put things away properly. Yeah, there's plenty of space, that's good. So I'm just going to dump it there. Because, well, you can see where our fence goes to. I think that should probably be the boundary of the yard as well. And, yeah, it can go all the way up to the trees if it needs to. It might be one full combine load, the area I'm about to clear. I can just use the landscaping tool to just concrete the whole area, but then it'd be a waste of a crop. So I'm not going to do that. It's actually a fairly unusual shaped field, so it's going to be quite strange doing this. But it's going to be very difficult to keep the combine straight. But it doesn't have to be a perfectly square yard. It just has to be neat. So yeah, actually we don't need to go all the way to the far side. That would be unnecessary. Well, it looks alright for the yard. It actually looks bigger now. Since the stubble has been removed, it does look like a larger area. So we could really do with putting some buildings up just to see exactly how big this area actually is. I don't know if those birds are going to disappear once it does become a farmyard, but it doesn't really matter. It's just, I don't know, the game probably thinks it is still a field. Now at the back of the yard we're going to put in some greenhouses, and I really don't know how these are going to pay off. I would have thought they'd be very good, but they are £25,000 each, which obviously is quite expensive. Also, I think when I did a bit of ground levelling there, it decided to remove the crop. I have no idea why. So I can just bring that back in. Let's just put that to this texture. Put a curve on it. Because, yeah, it doesn't need to be perfectly square. And that's absolutely fine. It's actually quite good to have a bit of space around it too. But yeah, it's a big greenhouse and we still have loads of space left. I do want to put a fence up. I think a fence is just going to be the best thing to do here. There's plenty of space. I could have gone a bit further that way actually. But anyway, it doesn't matter. I can store some stuff next to it. Just put something here. But that is fine. I think just to begin with, I'm going to go with one greenhouse. How do we get in? Through the window? Oh, don't tell me you can't get in them. You can go inside the greenhouses in 17. No, I want to go in the greenhouse. I want to go in the greenhouse. I'm sure there is a window. Yes, there is. Thing is, though, I don't think I'm going to be able to squeeze through there. Oh, I want to go in the greenhouse. Oh, forget it. Anyway, yes, that is something which I have done. I'm not too sure if I've got the fence enabled. If I don't, I'm going to have to enable that later. But more of a priority is the shed. Now, as you know, I'm pretty useless when it comes to tidying up, so I think if we just have one huge shed, I can't really go wrong, because I won't be able to say, where can I put this thing, this machine? Shall I put it in this shed or this shed? No, we'll just put it in the one big shed. Okay, so that is going to affect the price. I think, considering that's the cheapest, just there. It should be pretty much level. It might have made a mini mountain. Looks good. But yes, a fence is required ideally. Yeah, it does look very good. So this is a big building. No excuses for not clearing stuff up. Yeah, I like that. Very good. Okay, so that can be the main machine shed. Now for where the cows are going to go. Now it's not a massive urgency to do this because they're still alright over there. The fields over there aren't going to be sold for a few days yet. I do have the fences and a Christmas tree in case anybody was wanting to be a bit more festive. But no, I think we'll keep that until December again. So we're going to go for the 8-meter sections because, yeah, it's going to be a big fence. I'm a little bit concerned about money, but as I've said, we can just do a bit of grass cutting work or something for somebody nearby and hopefully make some money. So, yeah, let me just lower that a bit because that should be right, actually, yeah. Should be fine. Okay, so that's going to take me a little while to do. Looks good. Yeah, that's fine. Obviously the crop is very close, so that's just going to have a larger grass border put in. In fact, it's going through here. And that needs to be levelled off a bit. But otherwise, that's fine. There we go. Of course, if the drop does become an issue, I can just smooth it off. But it would be unnecessary just to spend money on that. So whenever I say it's unnecessary to spend money on that, somebody always says, he says that, but then he went and spent all that money on such and such. But hopefully I haven't done that today. Right, okay, so there is no entrance to the field. I suppose that's not an issue. Well, I can just pull out a section. Very easy to do. Like that. Very, very simple. So, what can I do now? I'm going to leave the area here just empty for the time being because I'm bound to say, oh, we need to buy that as well. Maybe a grain silo or something. So I can't just go filling up the yard unnecessarily. Plus all the machines have to come in here as well. But that's alright. We have storage, we have a greenhouse, and yes, the cows are going to be going in here. Probably over there, I would have thought, but not today. Can't just keep spending money. So we have loads of potential money in this. It's going to be a fortune. We've still got loads in the field. But I think, for now, that's going to do nicely. So if you have any suggestions, please do feel free to comment down below, because I think my viewers can influence the layout of the yard. That would be good. If you think there's anything I can change here, then that is absolutely fine. Please do let me know. But that is okay. So, thank you for watching. And until next time, see you again soon. Bye for now.